You opened your eyes just a few moments ago, and already there's something heavy sitting on your chest. You can't quite name it. It's not pain exactly. It's not fear in the way you'd expect fear to feel. It's more like a low hum beneath everything, a tension that arrived before you even had time to think your first thought. Maybe you slept, but you didn't rest. Maybe you dreamed, but you woke more tired than when you closed your eyes. Your body is awake now, but something deeper in you is still reaching for stillness it didn't find in the night. There's a voice in your head that's already listing things, tasks, conversations, obligations. The weight of the day ahead, pressing down before it's even begun. You haven't had your first sip of water, but your mind is already running through scenarios, already bracing for impact, already scanning for what could go wrong, what might be said, what needs to be done, what you forgot to do yesterday. This is how mornings feel sometimes. Not like a fresh start, but like a continuation of something you never finished, like you went to bed in the middle of a sentence and woke up still trying to complete it. And maybe you're used to this by now. Maybe this has been your normal for so long that you've forgotten what it feels like to wake up light, to open your eyes without the invisible weight pressing down immediately. You've learned to function this way. You've learned to push through. But deep inside, in a place you rarely visit, there's a quiet exhaustion that has nothing to do with how many hours you slept. You're carrying more than people know, more than you've told anyone, more than you've even admitted to yourself. There are thoughts you've replayed so many times they feel worn out, worries you've examined from every angle, fears that visit you at 2 in the morning and again at 6. You've tried to be strong. You've tried to hold it all together, and in many ways, you have. But that holding takes something from you. That constant grip leaves you tired in a way that has no easy remedy. Right now, in this moment, you don't have to figure anything out. You don't have to fix anything. You don't have to pretend you're more okay than you are. You don't have to perform strength you don't feel. Something different is happening here. Something that doesn't ask you to produce or achieve or push through. Something that simply asks you to be present, to be honest, to stop just for a little while and let yourself be held by something greater than your own effort. Before we go any further, I want you to know that what you're feeling is not a failure. The heaviness in your chest this morning is not a sign that you're doing something wrong. The racing thoughts are not evidence of weakness. The anxiety that greets you before the sun is not proof that you lack faith or discipline or willpower. You are human. You are carrying human burdens in a human body with a human heart. And that heart was never designed to carry everything alone. There was a man, long ago, who knew mornings like this. He woke up before dawn in a cold place, his heart pounding, his enemies surrounding him on every side. He had done nothing wrong, yet people wanted him gone. He had responsibilities he never asked for. He had expectations weighing on him from every direction. And in those early hours, when darkness still covered the ground and his mind was already racing with the threats of the day, he didn't try to figure everything out. He didn't make a plan. He didn't strategize his way to peace. He simply spoke, out loud, into the darkness. He told the truth about what he was feeling. He named his fear. He named his exhaustion. He admitted he didn't know how to get through what was ahead, and something happened in that honesty. Not that his problems disappeared, not that his enemies suddenly became friends, but his heart shifted, his grip loosened. He remembered that he was not alone, even when every circumstance told him he was. You can do the same thing right now. You don't have to pretend. You don't have to clean up your emotions before you come. You can bring the full weight of what you're carrying and set it down, piece by piece, in the presence of one who is not overwhelmed by any of it. In a moment, we're going to move through the different layers of what you're holding. But before we do, take a breath. Not a rushed breath, not a breath you squeeze in between tasks, a real breath. Let your shoulders drop. Let your jaw unclench. Let your hands rest open instead of gripped. This moment is yours. No one is watching. No one is grading you. No one is waiting for you to perform. Let's begin with your mind. Your thoughts have been working overtime. Even when your body rests, your mind keeps running calculations, predictions, rehearsals of conversations that haven't happened yet, replays of conversations that already did. It's exhausting, and the hardest part is that most of this thinking doesn't solve anything. It just keeps you spinning. You think about the same things over and over, hoping that somehow this time you'll find the answer, the solution, the peace. But it doesn't come through thinking harder. So right now, let your mind know it can rest. You don't have to figure out today before today arrives. You don't have to solve tomorrow's problems this morning. You don't have to anticipate every possible outcome and prepare for each one. That's not wisdom. That's exhaustion disguised as preparation. There is a hand reaching toward your mind right now, not to control it, not to demand anything from it, simply to calm it, to remind it that there is order beyond what it can create, that there is protection beyond what it can plan for, that there is wisdom available that doesn't come from anxious calculation. Let every racing thought slow down. Let every spinning worry begin to settle. Imagine your mind like water that has been churning and stirring, and now, slowly, it begins to still. The surface becomes clear. The depths become visible. Not because you forced it, but because you stopped fighting. You're going to hear this more than once today, but let it land now. You are not alone in this. The weight you feel is real, but you are not the only one holding it. There is strength beneath your weakness. There is calm beneath your chaos. There is presence beneath your panic. And that presence is not disappointed in you. It's not waiting for you to get your act together. It's here, now, in the middle of the mess, whispering peace over your mind. Now, let's go deeper, from your mind to your heart. Your heart holds what your mind can't process. Your heart stores the things too big for words, too painful for logic, too tender for analysis. And your heart has been carrying a lot. There are disappointments there, not just recent ones, but old ones too. Hopes that didn't turn out the way you expected. Relationships that hurt more than you've admitted. Moments when you felt unseen, unheard, unvalued. There are fears in your heart that you haven't spoken out loud. Fears about the future. Fears about people you love. Fears about your own ability to keep going. You've pushed them down because there's no time to feel them. You've ignored them because they're too heavy to hold while you're trying to function, but they're still there, and they affect everything, whether you acknowledge them or not. Right now, in this quiet space, your heart can be honest. You can let the fears rise without judging them. You can let the sadness surface without trying to fix it immediately. You can feel what you've been avoiding and discover that you don't fall apart when you do. Because there is something holding you even as you fall. Maybe you've felt alone in your pain. Maybe you've looked around at everyone else and assumed they have it more together than you do. Maybe you've smiled when you wanted to cry, said you were fine when you weren't, carried burdens you should have shared. You've been brave, you've been strong. But that kind of strength has a cost. And today, you can put down the armor. You can stop pretending. There was a woman once who had been bleeding for 12 years. 12 years of pain, 12 years of doctors who couldn't help, 12 years of watching her life drain away while everyone around her went on with their normal lives. She had tried everything, spent everything, and she was still suffering. But one day, she heard about a man who was different, a man who healed people, and something in her heart stirred. Not logic, not a calculated decision, just a desperate hope that maybe, if she could just get close enough, something would change. She pushed through the crowd, weak, embarrassed, probably afraid. She didn't ask for attention. She didn't make a scene. She just reached out and touched the edge of his garment, and in that moment, everything changed. Not because she had perfect faith, not because she said the right words, but because she reached toward grace and grace reached back. That same grace is reaching toward your heart right now. You don't have to have perfect words. You don't have to understand everything. You just have to reach. Let your heart reach toward the presence that is already leaning close. Let your pain be seen. Let your fears be known. Let your heart finally rest in hands big enough to hold all of it. Stay here a little longer. There's more for your heart to release. Think about what you've been carrying silently. The relationship that drains you. The situation you don't know how to fix. The person you can't stop worrying about. The future that feels uncertain. The past that still aches. Name it in your heart. Not to dwell on it, but to hand it over, one by one. Like stones from a backpack you've been wearing too long. You don't have to carry this anymore. Not alone, not in your own strength. There is a presence with you that specializes in heavy loads. A presence that doesn't grow weary, that isn't overwhelmed by the size of your problems, that isn't shocked by the depth of your pain. Let your heart trust, even if just a little, that it's safe to let go. Now, let's move to something practical. Your decisions today. In a short while, you'll leave this moment. You'll step into a day filled with choices. Some will seem small, insignificant. What to say, what to leave unsaid, how to respond, where to give your energy. Others will feel heavier, more consequential. Decisions about relationships, about work, about boundaries, about what you'll allow and what you won't. You don't have to make all of those decisions right now, but you can position your heart to make them wisely. You can ask for clarity before confusion arrives. You can ask for patience before frustration shows up. You can ask for wisdom before the moment demands it. There was a man who built an entire kingdom, but before he asked for wealth or power or victory over his enemies, he asked for one thing: wisdom. He knew that without the ability to discern, all the success in the world would mean nothing, and his request was honored, not because he was perfect, but because his heart was honest. Your heart can be honest the same way. You can admit that you don't know the right thing to do in every situation. You can confess that some decisions feel too big for you, and you can ask for the kind of wisdom that doesn't come from experience alone, but from a source deeper than yourself. So let's ask now. For the conversations you'll have today, let there be words that heal and not harm. Let there be patience when you'd rather react. Let there be silence when words would only make things worse. For the tasks in front of you, let there be focus when distraction pulls. Let there be energy when weariness drags. Let there be grace when things don't go as planned. For the unexpected moments, the ones you can't prepare for, let there be presence. Not your own striving, but something steadier. Something that holds you from the inside. Something that whispers direction when the path is unclear. You are not going into this day alone. Every step you take, every word you speak, every decision you make, there is guidance available if you'll listen for it. Not loud, not demanding, but quiet and constant, like a current beneath the waves. Now, stay with me. There's something important I want to speak over you before this day unfolds. Today will not crush you. I know it might feel like it could. I know there are moments ahead that seem impossible, but today will not crush you. The pressure you're anticipating, it's real, but it will not overcome you. The challenges waiting for you, they're significant, but they are not bigger than what holds you. This morning, before your feet hit the floor and the rush began, you were given something you can't see but can learn to trust. A covering, a protection, a presence that goes before you, walks beside you, and guards you from behind. You're not entering this day unprotected. You're not facing these hours unequipped. There is peace available to you today that doesn't depend on your circumstances changing. There is strength available that doesn't come from your own reserves. There is hope that stands independent of what happens or doesn't happen. And this is my promise to you. Before this day ends, you will see evidence of this. Maybe in a moment of unexpected calm, maybe in a word that reaches your heart at just the right time, maybe in strength you didn't know you had. But you will see it, and when you do, remember where it came from. Let this truth settle deep, not just in your mind, but in your bones, in your breath, in the way you hold yourself as you step into the day. You are carried, you are covered, you are not alone. As we come to the close of this time together, let everything settle. Don't rush back into the noise. Don't immediately reach for your phone or your tasks or your worries. Stay here just a moment longer. Let the silence hold you. Your mind is quieter now than it was when you started. Your heart is lighter, even if just a little. Something has shifted, not because of anything you did, but because you allowed yourself to receive. You stopped striving, just for a little while. You stopped carrying, just for this moment. And in the space that opened up, peace entered. Carry this with you, not as a memory, but as a presence. Not as something you had and lost, but as something you can return to again and again. Whenever the day gets heavy, you can close your eyes and remember, you are held. Whenever your thoughts start racing, you can take a breath and remember, you are not alone. Whenever fear knocks, you can remind yourself, there is something stronger than your fear walking with you. The day is waiting for you now, but it's not a threat anymore. It's an invitation, an opportunity to walk in what you've received, to trust what you've heard, to live from rest instead of striving for it. Go gently, go confidently, go knowing that you've been equipped for whatever comes. And when this day is over and you lay your head down again tonight, may you find that you carried less than you expected. May you discover that grace met you in moments you didn't anticipate. May you realize that you were never, not for 1 second, walking alone. This peace stays with you. This presence remains. This morning was just the beginning. Now take the first step into your day and let everything else unfold in its time.